In early 2026, a major scandal hit the AI world in China. Brands were caught flooding models with low-quality content to manipulate answers. This manipulation put a massive spotlight on China's generative engine optimization market. This shift proves that relying on mass-generated AI content is becoming less effective and far more risky. Doing so wastes your investment and actively damages your brand's credibility. Because AI engines are now aggressively filtering out this automated noise, the path to visibility has completely changed. Today, the core challenge for international brands is no longer traditional search rankings. It is whether your brand is trusted enough to be included in the AI's generated answers at all. In this video, we will break down the evolution of Chinese search behavior. We will analyze why Western AI strategies fail behind the Great Firewall. And finally, we will outline the exact content pipelines required to build real AI authority. Hi, I'm Vicky, and this is Nanjing Marketing Group. We have over 17 years of experience in China, and we help international brands build trust and get leads. We follow how the market shifts so you can keep your strategy ahead of the competition. To understand why traditional search optimization is no longer enough, we need to look at how search behavior has changed in China. It has evolved through three distinct eras. Before 2016, search behavior was straightforward. Users opened a traditional search engine like Baidu or 360, entered key phrases, and browsed websites that popped on the result page. Brands captured this demand through classic SEO and paid search bidding strategies. The logic was simple. Users searched for keywords, and brands tried to rank at the top. Between 2016 and 2024, everything changed with the rise of massive content platforms. Information discovery shifted away from traditional search engines and moved inside specialized app ecosystems like WeChat, RedNote, Douyin, which is TikTok, and Bilibili. Our user research data from June 2024 verified this fragmentation. When we surveyed Chinese users about where they last searched for information, Baidu held 23.6% of the market. Meanwhile, Douyin held a little bit over 16, RedNote 15, and early AI tools had already captured a significant 12% share. Today, from 2025 and beyond, we are firmly in the era of AI search. Industry reports show that mobile AI adoption in China has reached over 700 million users. They are asking complex questions and letting AI retrieve, summarize, and deliver answers directly. Many marketing teams assume that if they have a strong global AI search strategy, it will naturally work in China. And this is a misconception. In the West, tools like Perplexity or Google's Gemini crawl a relatively open web. But the Chinese digital ecosystem is heavily fragmented into walled gardens, which are massive independent platforms that actively block competitors from indexing their data. For example, Tencent's WeChat content is famously blocked from Baidu's web crawlers. It is not necessarily true that Chinese AI engines completely ignore global websites. They actually do crawl the global web and English databases. The real limitation is their real-time search. When a user asks a Chinese AI tool for a live recommendation, the engine uses a process called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. This isn't unique to China. Western AIs use RAG too. But while standalone tools like Kimi or DeepSeek retrieve from the open web, dominant platform-anchored AIs like Doubao or Yuanbao plug their RAG pipeline directly into their host ecosystems like Douyin and WeChat. Furthermore, real-time RAG operates on tight latency limits. If your content sits on a global site and lacks local hosting, it will load slowly behind the Great Firewall, and the AI's crawler will simply time out. It will always prioritize fast, responsive domestic platforms instead. Because of this, publishing on a local recognized platform is mandatory. That was actually also true for ranking high on Baidu's SERP. We will talk about this strategy in a bit. But getting your content onto domestic channels is only step one. Many brands still fail because of two completely separate execution mistakes. The first is the translation trap. You cannot simply translate a successful Western article and expect it to work. Chinese language models are built on entirely different semantic structures. They required localized phrasing, native industry terminology, and strict alignment with local compliance rules. The second mistake is poor brand name mapping. You must connect your international brand name to your official Chinese name within your content. If you leave this unaddressed, the market will define it for you. Local users, distributors, and automated translation tools will create conflicting nicknames or phonetic transliterations. This splits your brand authority across multiple different names. Because the AI cannot connect these separate pieces, it fails to aggregate your visibility share and passes you over for a local competitor whose name mapping is clear. By the way, if you want a complete written breakdown of this entire strategy, we've laid it all out in a comprehensive blog post. We cover how China's AI ecosystem works and how to get your brand noticed. You can find the link to that guide directly in the description below. To fix this visibility gap, your team needs to understand the strategic shift from traditional SEO to GEO. Search engines use hundreds of ranking signals to determine which pages appear in search results, including content relevance, backlinks, and technical SEO. The objective is to rank your specific website higher. GEO, on the other hand, is about ensuring your brand name is actually cited and recommended inside the written answer that AI generates. To approach China GEO effectively, our framework divides the local ecosystem into two layers: interactive AI tools and content source platforms. Interactive tools are the entry point where users type questions such as Kimi, DeepSeek, or Ernie. Content source platforms are the domestic networks where those AI models pull and reference data in real time. These include platforms like Zhihu, Bilibili, and Baidu. If you want the tools to mention you, your data must first live on the source platforms they favor. Instead of manual prompt testing, your team should track this infrastructure using specialized local monitoring software, for example, DxGeo or integrated AI features in Dragonmetrics. Let's look at how this strategy works in practice through two real-world examples. Our first case study is from the B2B industrial manufacturing sector, focusing on our client Kaut, a provider of scribing marking machines. When a user asks an AI tool to recommend cost-effective marking options, the AI generates a structured text summary comparing relevant companies. We focused on a continuous GEO strategy, publishing technical, intent-aligned content across local source platforms. As a result, the AI successfully indexed the data and placed our client as the very first recommended result. Our second example comes from higher education, where we handled optimization for the University of Exeter's specialized metamaterial program. Initially, traditional keyword searches on Baidu lacked organic visibility for these highly technical terms. To solve this, we developed high-value educational content and distributed it across the specific platforms referenced heavily by local AI models, such as Zhihu or Baidu Baike. As the local data pipelines processed this information, the shift became clear. When querying local AI tools on this technical topic, the university began consistently appearing inside the generated answers. It even included direct source citations. The program achieved a measured visibility rate of over 90% across targeted industry prompts. To wrap up, China GEO is not a short-term algorithm trick. The content manipulation scandal we discussed earlier proves that mass-producing automated text is a losing strategy. It is no longer effective, it carries a massive risk, and it ultimately damages your brand's credibility. Chinese AI platforms are actively fighting back. Their filters are getting much better at spotting and removing low-quality, mass-generated spam. On top of that, official regulations around AI content quality are tightening. If you rely purely on automated content, you risk wasting your budget and getting your corporate channels penalized. A reliable strategy requires combining AI efficiency with human expertise. This means moving to an AI-augmented workflow rather than full automation. Use AI to build your initial outlines or structure your data, but always have a real person with genuine industry experience check and refine the final text. This human review stops duplicate content flags. It keeps your information compliant. Most importantly, it aligns your content with how AI engines actually evaluate and trust information. You can manage this process at scale using reliable SaaS tools. Platforms like DxGeo or Dragonmetrics allow your team to track content pipelines and monitor your live visibility share over time. Keep these three core execution pillars in mind for long-term success. First, design content for intent. Turn your corporate assets into detailed FAQs, step-by-step guides, and comparison tables. AI models parse these formats easily. Second, map your brand names explicitly. Ensure your content clearly connects your international brand name to your official registered Chinese trademark. And third, feed the right source channels. Focus your publishing efforts on high-authority local platforms like Zhihu or Baidu. These are the specific channels Chinese AI models use for real-time search. Aligning your marketing with how local AI retrieves data is the single best way to protect your visibility. It is how you capture high-converting B2B leads in China. Now, if you want to know exactly what metrics to track to prove your GEO strategy is working, we have a deep dive video on that exact topic. You can click on the screen right now to watch it. We break down how to measure and report your brand's AI visibility to your leadership team. We also put a link to our detailed blog post on GEO performance metrics in the description below, along with all our other resources. If you found this breakdown valuable, please follow our page and subscribe to the channel.